And maybe like you all, when I was growing up, there were four things that absolutely fascinated me. I loved rockets, I loved airplanes, I loved dinosaurs, and I loved volcanoes. And I was thrilled as a kindergartner when my family moved to the Ring of Fire in Washington State. If you don't know what the Ring of Fire is, it is this area around the Pacific where there's a lot of active volcanoes. And I was hoping to see one explode, and it's fairly rare, as you know, but I was hoping for it. And then I showed up there in Bellevue, Washington, outside of Seattle, and found out that Mount St. Helens, 100 miles to the south, was not only an active volcano, but it likely was going to erupt and explode while I was there. And I was just over the moon excited. And on the daily news, there was a countdown as the big lava dome grew inside the crater of Mount St. Helens. And I was super excited about that. And at some point, it became so clear that there was going to be an eruption that they had this mandatory evacuation. And then, sure enough, on May 18th, 1980, 43 years ago yesterday, 7-year-old boy John Teichert got to hear the explosion and then later see that massive mushroom cloud that spewed ash up into the heavens for tens of thousands of feet. And it was the best thing in the world for a 7-year-old boy. And there is one name that I remember from that time, Harry R. Truman. Not the President Harry S. Truman, but old-timer Harry R. Truman that owned Spirit Lake Lodge at the base of Mount St. Helens. And as far as I know, he was the only person that did not heed that mandatory evacuation order. And he said something that was known as a famous quote amongst us Washingtonians, "This mountain ain't gonna hurt me." And then sure enough, in spite of his bravery, really because of his defiance and complacency, that mountain hurt him. Whoa. And before that sound even reached my ears, he was covered in 150 feet of volcanic debris, and no one has seen Harry R. Truman or Spirit Lake Lodge since then. And to me, that's a great example of the world that is changing around him and around us. And if you are defiant and complacent, then you'll get buried. But if you are not, and you are keen to change with the times, then you can bury your competition. Wow. And you can ignite innovation and spur success and implement impact.